What's up, everybody? Noah is back here for another interview. I have Sam Hayes, director and writer and creator of the new movie coming to theaters September 5th, Pools. Pools is a movie I got the honor to see early thanks to a screening, and I'm saving that video for after this because I don't want to give anything away. But I will say, first off, great job. I've been looking forward to this movie for probably literally a year and a half. I've followed the campaign.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's so cool to hear.
So, where did this idea for Pools first come to you? Was it a pitch meeting? Was this just a you thing that you came up with like years ago? How did Pools come to be?
You know, I grew up in a neighborhood not too far, or in a town not too far from where we shot, and I had been pool hopping there, and I just felt like there was something so magical about the sight of like a glowing blue pool at night, and about these estates in that particular town of. And I just thought it was so ripe for a coming of age movie. My favorite kinds of movies are. I'm doing an interview right now. Can you come back? Like John Hughes movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, or like The Graduate's one of my favorite movies, Lady Bird. And so I wanted to make something, that felt like those, but was, definitely for our time and kind of set in that John Hughes land where we filmed. The town we filmed is in that North Shore of Chicago area where he also lived. So yeah, I really went into it from a more of a feeling and a vibe. And then as I started to write, and I had these characters in mind, and as I started to write them and figure out where the story went, that's when, the real heart of the story unfolded very naturally out of that. But I didn't go into it with the exact story that I wanted to tell. I went into it with sort of like, I knew what this, the scenery and the vibe and the kind of movie it was, and I knew these characters, but I didn't know really where it would go. So it was very setting and character driven idea, not really story driven first.
With this film, there is a lot of characters in here that we all know in our real lives. Mm-hmm. What was the casting like? How did you cast each person, and were they your first pick?
Yeah, so they were. Yeah, so the casting was. I was really lucky with the casting because I got to write for like three of the main characters. So the first one that I was writing for was the air conditioning man, Michael Vlamis. Mm-hmm. Vlamis is one of my best friends. We've been working together for a long time. So ever since I started just doing a free write of this, like not knowing where it would go, he was the air conditioning man in my head, and sort of my anchor going forward and even onto set. And then I had a vague idea of who this Kennedy character was. Mm-hmm. And I could sense her, I could feel her essence, but I didn't know who would play her for quite a while. And then I saw Odessa Zion in somebody's Instagram story and decided to, and just immediately was like, oh my God, that's Kennedy. That's got to be Kennedy. And so I was like, there she is. And so I was able to get a coffee with her and take her through my ideas and the story, and she vibed with it, and we had a great time. So from that point on, I wrote the story with her in mind. And 6 months later, when I sent it to her, she really loved it. And so from that point on, we kind of joined forces on this project. And the third role I wrote for somebody was the role of Blake for Tyler Alvarez. Mm-hmm. Didn't know Tyler, but I knew his work really well from American Vandal because I really loved that series. And I just couldn't not picture him in that role. So thankfully he jumped on board as well.
So let's go into this film just a little bit further.
Yeah.
There's two things I always say. Making a movie is hard because it is. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Making a good movie is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
What's the hardest scene that you had to shoot underwater?
Well, I'll say this, just in general, like all the underwater scenes were really difficult to shoot because the cameraman's floating. Everyone's floating. Everything is floating. So it's hard to line things up. Takes a lot of tries. It's hard to stay underwater for long enough for an actor to really have time.
Oh, shoot. Did we lose him? Did we lose him? Shoot, I think we lost him.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay, great. I just decided to take you inside because it just was getting so loud out there. Sorry about that.
No problem.
But yeah, I mean, every time we shot underwater, it was difficult. And like Odessa, when she first, was on set, she like at first could only hold her breath for like 15 seconds. And we're like, well, this isn't going to work. Like, that's not even enough time to get the shot. And so we brought in like a breath coach who helped her get up to like a minute and a half or more. And then she was able to really stay down there for a while. And we would also like bring her down to the deep end per se with an air tube. So she's getting set up with a breathing tube to like get all set. And then it's like, get it lined up, call action, scuba man swims away. And Odessa's down there now just holding her breath, and we're, getting the shots that we could. But yeah, I mean, the constraints of underwater made it very difficult. We also like shot with a camera in a fish tank, which the fish tank was submerged. So that was a little bit of a rinky-dink way to do it, but it was a quick solution when we needed to shoot some underwater stuff on set, but we didn't have the underwater housing that day, which is very expensive to rent and hire. So, yeah.
And there's a couple more questions that I have with our reactions, but what's the best thing that you've heard with this film from an audience member?
There's a lot of people who really resonate with it, who either are in a place in life where they feel stuck, where they feel that sense of cognitive dissonance and anxiety that Kennedy's feeling, where it's like, my life is kind of going this one direction, but my heart is going this other direction, and I don't know what to do. And like, and the other kind of camp of people that really resonate with it are people that have, been through loss and grief, and we all go through that at some point. But yeah, I mean, I've been really moved to see how, there's been people at film festivals that have told me like, hey, like, I only came into this movie because I wanted to see the short before it, or because this friend or the other brought me. I really didn't think I would like it, but like now it's one of my favorite movies. And obviously there's people that don't like the movie too, but I have had people come up to me and say like, this is one of my favorite movies that I've seen in years. And it's like really touched their soul. And we talk for hours about it. And obviously, this movie is just me telling my story in a way. And it's, the actors like Odessa sort of infusing themselves into it as well. So it's just really cool to hear when the movie does what it's supposed to.
And my final question is, what is your favorite scene as a viewer? You made it, but watching it, what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene as a viewer, like visually, I think is when they first break into the house. I'm giving something away now. And Delaney is still in the pool, not willing to do it. And everyone else is dancing their asses off. And then finally she goes in there and she kind of steps into the frame from the camera. And you get these two long shots across the hallway, the long hallway of this beautiful mansion and the living room dancing. And it's like, one of them is, seeing from Delaney's perspective as she steps in. And then the next one comes back and it's slowly zooming through all the dancing crazy kids until it lands on Delaney standing in that doorway. And then you get one more coming back at Odessa just as she turns around and kind of like locks eyes with Delaney. You just get this perfect look that only lasts for like a moment. But I don't know. It's my favorite moment in look wise, camera wise. Yeah.
Everybody check out the brand new movie Pools. It'll be opening wider September 5th. Right now it's in select cities, and now enjoy my review. I'm uploading it right after this. And as always, everybody, like and subscribe for more. Sam, thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I can't wait to see what you do next, man.
Thanks so much, Noah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping, guys. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
So where did you go when the fire is low?